Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players, and Shorto here. Today, I'm going to talk about Darkside Bandos and Imperial Troopers. Lord Bane did a video on his channel, and I kind of talked with him prior to him releasing it, but then I still wanted to do my version because I want to do a little more thoughts, as you will. So, but yeah, there's a lot of conundrums between these two factions, Imperial Troopers and Darkside Mandos. So I'm going to go through Darkside Mandos real quick, and then I'll go through Imperial Troopers. So as you can see, what's lined up under Maul and Django, the two leads that always pull those two characters. And for Trench and Lord Vader, one of their best characters is Maul and Jango Fett. It's kind of it's funny and sad all at the same time, but it is what it is. Of course, I will say, keep this in mind. It still baffles me that Django is separatist, mind you, because other bounty hunters, Imbo, Cad Bane, have worked for and with separatists throughout the Clone Wars. So I don't know why those two are not, other than maybe the this thing here, the length. Let's see if I can do that. The length of that. It's not pulling up all the way. Anyways, the length of that might be limited. Something to keep in mind. But let's go into it, though. So aside from the Garn ISC that really made Darkside Mandos a thing, you could counter a few teams. Sometimes people put it on defense. But the other thing is you can also potentially counter Jedi Master Kenobi teams. If you play it right, play the mods right, etc., etc. But the conundrum goes down to the fact that Lord Vader's best character in his team is Maul. And that is the lead of the Mandalorians, which when ISA was reworked, I don't know why they didn't add Mandos to this one. That would have been very handy. Very handy indeed. Like now they have a light side Mando team that's really dominant, but now dark side is getting kind of shafted because two of their characters are needed elsewhere. Yeah, I know. It's interesting. But going into Imperial Troopers now, this one's the conundrum right now. So Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is not Imperial Trooper, but all these others are Imperial Troopers. So Iden Versio needs all Imperial Troopers that do not have a leadership or a droid tag in them. So that's the four that's with her: Scout Trooper, Stormtrooper, Death Trooper, Range Trooper, and that's it. So you're kind of limited on that, but you also need the four that are with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Yeah, right there. So you got some conundrums here again, because now you look at that. That's all we have. We don't have anyone for Veers as a fifth. You have to run a random Imperial. I'll talk about some down in the comments, but a lot of the times those other random Imperial Trooper Imperials are, unfortunately, the big problem with them is they don't get the turn meter gains from the unique here, which slows them down massively. You can have them almost as fast as Piet, and they would still it might take one turn in a battle. So they're sitting there doing nothing, essentially. So it's kind of sad, to be honest. But yeah, and then Dark Trooper Moff Gideon pulls 4. Like, yes, you will have more options in 3v3, but 5v5, that's the conundrum right there. Now, some solutions. Lord Vader, put Lord Vader in there. Haha, just kidding. Who knows, they might actually outrun Lord Vader, because, well, Lord Vader will go first, drop an AoE, so they can start doing their AoEs too, but then I don't know if Lord Vader will take a turn after. Maybe once. I don't know. So, first and foremost, here are 6 characters that can either gain the Imperial Trooper tag and or the Imperial Remnant tag. So mind you, the 3 that could gain the Imperial Remnant tag. Okay, so first and foremost, Thrawn was released in the Ahsoka show. Full, he was live action, which is really cool. They had a great music score. I'm not going to obviously share it, so you just have to look it up for his entrance. I love that music. But Thrawn, until I'm sure they get some more seasons of Mando and whatever else that's paired with this timeline era out there, Thrawn's probably not going to gain that Imperial Remnant tag. TIE Pilot. You see TIE fighters flying around in the Imperial Remnant. Yeah, you see where I'm getting there? Like, why? And then also on another side, why is he not Imperial Trooper? Because that is one common way to prevent Wampa from countering Iden is to break up some of the team synergy, throw TIE Pilot in there. Kind of sad because now you do break up that synergy. Because CG likes making full team synergies and say, screw you for the rest of the team members. But going back to it though, he should be both Imperial Trooper and Imperial Remnant. And the reason why I say Imperial Trooper is if you look at Wedge and Biggs, the Rebel, let's go look at him. Let's go look at him. Actually, I could do this here anyways. Scroll back down here so I don't have to worry. I might have to do that after. So you go to Rebel Fighter, which Rebel Fighter is essentially the Rebel Troopers. Essentially. Look, Wedge there. Biggs there. Huh. They're pilots, not bays. Get out of there. They're pilots. Oh, look at this. Another pilot. That he doesn't have a ship, unfortunately, but all three of these are, well-known pilots of the Rebel faction. And the Rebel Fighters, which is essentially pretty much the Rebel Troopers for this game at least. Why isn't TIE Pilot not one? That's another thing. Now, Shore Trooper, Imperial Remnant. Why should he be one? Because of the scenes in, I think it's the second to last episode of Season 2 Mando, where Mando actually, takes his helmet off for the first time. And we surprisingly see who he looks like, even though we are obviously knew based on actors and stuff. But we see Shore Troopers in those scenes where they're charging out to help protect Mando, which was a kind of a surprising twist, but it was kind of interesting too. But yeah, we had Shore Troopers there. Why are they not Imperial Remnant? That was an Imperial Remnant base that were looking for Moff Gideon. Yeah, that's the part that baffles me right there. And then going into it though, so Thrawn, actually, if you go back up here, Admiral Piet is an admiral. An Imperial Trooper Admiral. I'm pretty sure at some point, Emperor Palpatine thinks every Imperial under him, sometimes even Darth Vader, is just an Imperial Trooper to him, just doing his bidding. So I could see Thrawn being in there. Krennic, Tarkin being Imperial Troopers. Heck, Probe Droid. Like, Dark Trooper is, like, you can kind of see him being an Imperial Trooper, but kind of not because it's more specialized. Why not Probe Droid? They're kind of like a Imperial Trooper / scout. They're scouting out the galaxy. They can kind of defend themselves. So why, those are options right there. They're Imperial Trooper based. Why can't they do it? I don't know. And then finally, Embo and Cad Bane. If you've seen the Clone Wars, you've seen Cad Bane and Embo at some points or another work for, yes, Sidious too, but they've worked for Dooku, trying to capture Chancellor Palpatine in an episode. Cad Bane, aside from doing a Sith work for Sidious to capture children, which he continues doing for the Empire, Force sensitive children, he also was in charge of a separatist ship. Just saying, Cad Bane should be a separatist. Embo should be a separatist. If they, of course, it does come again to if they have room up here, let's say, redo some background data so they can add it. Because now that we have the computer version of this game coming out, maybe they might look into that and add some missing tags, hopefully. But yeah, those are kind of some thoughts on characters that should be added, and it would be easy fixes to the game, and you would have tons of Imperials. Now, yes, it doesn't help with the Mandos other than it would replace Jango. Maul's the one that's the unfortunate exception. I can't do anything about that because they'd have to give another lifter. Terran Malicos is kind of another lifter, unless you do something different with Lord Vader. Being like, maybe just throw him under a Sith Empire or Sith Triumvirate team. I don't know. But finally, here's some teams that obviously can work. So first and foremost, obviously you've seen mine on Lord Bane's channel. This is the team he came out with, and I suggested Moff Gideon to go in, but obviously he'd be pulled elsewhere. This is a team that works against Jabba, against Jedi Master Luke, stuff like that. You can also mix up Dark Trooper Moff Gideon teams, so you could throw in Death Trooper with Iden. Which is another thing. Death Trooper does not work with Krennic very well, even though, yeah. That's subject for another time. Maybe Lord Bane will do a video on a topic on Director Krennic and what he feels it should be done with him. I'll leave that one for him, though. But another option is running Probe Droid with the Imperial Troopers. He doesn't get a lot of speed. I did test it, but it's gear 12, so he's lacking out 20... No, take that back. 14 speed. 14 plus speed, so I can probably get him a bit faster, and then maybe hope that he can, do something, because Probe Droid, if you look at his unique, he does gain turn meter after each Empire ally, Rebel enemy, and Droid ally. And since it's an Empire Droid ally, so a Dark Trooper would give him, 6% turn meter. But unfortunately, the turn meter gains on the Imperial Troopers might still outrun him. But if he does at least get the detect out and target lock some enemies, he might prevent them from gaining buffs and prevent the evasion. So we'd have to, that's just a theory. If it was Imperial Trooper, it'd also work well. But then there'd be more turn meter shenanigans. And then finally, you can run this variant as well. I have done it before. I've done it face Treya, a few others. Just use Piet, mark ISC this time, and then you have the ISC Gar combo. You could put him there. Just Canderous is now literally the last man out of the Mando team, and unfortunately, the Republic sucks. So it's like, it's still a conundrum, but at least for the Imperial Trooper side, there's some thoughts there. Granted, obviously, bringing out more Darkside Mandos, some more Darkside Mando leads would help. Like, honestly, I feel like one of the big ones they could do, bring out his later version, Mandalore the Preserver. He will then lead the Darkside Mandos, and then you just have to bring out other Darkside Mando here and there, and you got yourself a Darkside Mando team proper, with Maul still hanging out with Lord Vader. Or you can, throw in Maul to combo with it. So, but let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts? How do you deal with the splits between Imperial Troopers and Darkside Mandos? Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all those who watch the videos make, and you guys have a phenomenal day.